Good good evening, my YouTube viewers. In this particular video, what we're going to do is we're going to do a two-sample t-test, which is a hypothesis test. So you want to compare the average heights of male and female students in a school. You have a sample of 20 male students with an average height of 170 centimeters and a sample of 20 female students with an average height of 165 centimeters. The standard deviations are 10 centimeters and 8 centimeters respectively. Test whether there is a significant difference in the mean heights of male and female students at a 5% significant level. So in the male group, you have a sample size of 20 with a mean X hat of 170 and a standard deviation of 10. In the females, you have a sample size of 20 with a mean X hat of 165 and a standard deviation of 8. So you have a test statistic, which is C8 minus C9, so that's 5 centimeters, divided by the square root of D8 squared divided by B8 plus D9 squared divided by B9. And that's the formula that you use to get the test statistic. And then we check our degree of freedom. So you've got 20 plus 20 is 40, minus 2 is 38, because you've got 20, a sample of 20 minus 1 is 19, plus another sample of 20 minus 1 is 19. So that gives you a degree of freedom of 38. So get your p-value, which is your probability, and at t.dis.2t. And so t means it's a t-distribution, and 2t means it's two-tailed. Brackets B11 is your test statistic of 1.74, and B12 is your degree of freedom of 38. And that gives you a p-value of 0.08887. So you've got your alpha, which is your significance level of 0.05. So the first thing that we're going to check before we look at anything is your p-value is 0.8 and your alpha is 0.05. So that means that your p-value is higher than 0.05. So what that's telling you is there's no significant difference between the height. And so that means you're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. But if the p-value was less than 0.05, then that would mean that there is a significant difference between the male and female heights, so you would reject the null hypothesis. But that's just what I told you. And now it says the null hypothesis is there's no significant difference in height. The alternate hypothesis, which can be written as either H8 or H1, is there significant difference in height. So we're going to interpret it. So if B13 is less than B14, then you reject the null hypothesis. Otherwise, you fail to reject the null hypothesis. But since B13 is greater than B14, which is the alpha, then you're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. So what we've done is we've created a chart so you can see the male and the female heights. So we've checked heights between 130 centimeters to 200 centimeters. And so you can see the male heights are in the blue and the female heights are in the red. So you can see that there's no significant difference. Well, there's no significant difference between the male heights and the female heights. And that concludes this video. The next video we're going to be talking about a hypothesis test on a diet plan. So I hope that you decide to watch it.